Alright, Chapter 4 Exam Review, page 2. We want to approximate the sine of 3 pi over 5 to 4 decimal places. Look no further than your calculator. Have to make sure you're in radian mode, because 3 pi over 5 is a radian angle measure. And then just punch it in, sine of 3 pi divided by 5. 4 decimal places is going to get us to 0.9511. Number 10, in what interval of the unit circle are tangent and cosine both negative? Well, we'll start with cosine. Cosine's the x, so cosine is negative over here. And if you think about it, tangent is sine divided by cosine. Well, here we have negative cosine but positive sine. Hard to see. Here we have negative cosine and negative sine. So the place where tangent is going to be negative is this quadrant up here. Between 2 pi, or 0 and 2 pi, this would start at pi over 2 and go to pi. So your answer here is from pi over 2 to pi. Number 11, the cosine function, if you think about it, well, let's go back to the unit circle actually. This point right here is 1 comma 0, which means when you start off at pi, or at 0, pi, 2 pi, cosine is 1 and sine is 0. Over here, cosine's negative 1, sine is 0. Back at 2 pi, sine is 0. At 3 pi, sine is 0. At 4 pi, sine is 0. So the thing that hits 0, or 0, at every even pi is sine. So this is the sine curve. 12 through 15, cosine of 25 degrees. 25 degrees would be right about here, and cosine is the x. So the answer for number 12 is definitely C. I'm going to keep trucking here. This is going to go over onto page 3. Need our picture back. Here's that same picture. Negative 155 degrees. Well, if I'm going negative, I'm at negative 90 right here. Negative 155 would be somewhere around here. If I want the sine there, that's y, so that's going to be h. Cosine of 335. 335 is definitely over in quadrant 4. If we're talking cosine, that would be a, because a is in the x part. And that negative 205, if I'm going negative, negative 90, negative 180, negative 205 has to be right here. I want the sine is the y, so that's F is your answer there. Okay, number 16, exact values at 240 degrees. At 240 degrees, right there, know it. Your exact values are negative 1/2, comma, negative square root of 3 over 2. Know your unit circle. That's my explanation for that. Okay, we get into cotangent, cosecant, and secant here. Cotangent at 225, I'm going to use this circle. 225 degrees is right here in the middle of this quadrant. The values there are negative square root of 2 over 2 and negative square root of 2 over 2. Now, tangent is sine divided by cosine. Cotangent is cosine divided by sine. In this case, it doesn't matter, because if I have the same thing divided by itself, the answer is 1. 135 degrees. 135 degrees is right there, 135. Values there, negative square root of 2 over 2, comma, positive square root of 2 over 2. Remember, cosecant is 1 over sine. So I'm talking about the sine. I want the reciprocal of sine. Sine here is the positive one. So in this case, I'm going to take the reciprocal of the square root of 2 over 2, which is 2 over the square root of 2. Can't keep square root in the denominator, so I have to rationalize the denominator by multiplying by the square root of 2 over 2, the square root of 2 divided by the square root of 2, and multiply. 2 times the square root of 2 is 2 square root of 2. Square root of 2 times square root of 2 is 2. 2 divided by 2's cancel. You're left with the square root of 2 here for number 18. For number 19, negative 270 degrees would be right up here. That's the point over 0, up 1. Secant is the reciprocal of cosine, 1 over cosine. In this case, cosine is 0. So the answer here is 1 over 0, which is undefined. Cannot have 0 in the denominator.